Welcome once again to the Thrive Learning Center. Today let's talk about how chronic trigger points can become a chiropractic problem. Have you ever had a massage therapist find a spot on a muscle that was so tender that it brought tears to your eyes? There's a pretty good chance that that was a trigger point. Trigger points form for several reasons, but the main reasons are that there's a long-standing blood flow deficiency to a muscle, or that increased activity to the muscle over a short period of time has not allowed the blood flow to cleanse the muscle properly. So if you were to increase your activity over what was normal, then you would get a sore muscle. The reason for those sore muscles is called lactic acid, because lactic acid is a waste byproduct of muscle metabolism. Then if that muscle didn't get any blood flow through it while that lactic acid was sitting on it, then the lactic acid would degrade and become an oxalate crystal. This is called oxalate degradation. These oxalate crystals microscopically look just like burrs that get on your pants when you walk through a field. And these microscopic burrs, called oxalate crystals, irritate the muscle fibers and cause them to contract around the crystal, forming a little painful ball of muscle called a trigger point. Now that you know what a trigger point is, more than likely you know that you've had one. So what's the best way to get rid of a trigger point? One way is to not let them form in the first place by having proper blood flow across the muscle when lactic acid is present. But that's not always optimal because sometimes we do so much activity and there's so much lactic acid that there's no way for us to purge it all from the muscle. Another way is to increase the blood flow across the muscle with moist heat, like a hot shower or a hot tub. Another way is to have someone put pressure on that trigger point and to break it up. If a person has a long-standing trigger point, this can cause chronic misalignment over time because when the muscle contracts around the oxalate crystal, it shortens, and if that muscle is shortened compared to the opposite muscle on the opposite side, then it will pull the vertebrae out of alignment, causing nerve interference on the impinged nerve, causing a problem over time. Always remember that when lactic acid is released from the muscle or oxalate crystals are broken up and released in the bloodstream, it causes blood to be slightly toxic, so increased water consumption is necessary. Even though our livers and kidneys are very efficient at cleaning toxins from the blood, it's always best to drink enough water so that we don't overtax our organs. I hope this little bit of information has helped you understand your body a little bit better about why we have trigger points and how those trigger points can turn into a chiropractic problem over time.
Are you ready to thrive instead of just survive? Let's get started.